to Mr. Jerry. Thank you for coming over to Hong Kong all the way. I have one last question about within a Chinese food, especially in Chinese food. We have a tendency to use MSG, which is equal Ajinomoto, which is umami. And we have tried many times, and within like tonight's menu too, you could taste it. A lot of umami taste involved in the tasting. Not tonight, today. I would like to have, if you could share us your opinion on how the MSG, the Ajinomoto, how wine industry could, and tasting, as a fan of the wine lovers, how to cope with this chef using Ajinomoto, MSG, manipulated umami, and how we should enjoy the both side of it. That's my opinion.
Okay. Sure. It's a great question.
Jerry, may I ask you to stand here?
Okay.
Because we're going to put it on CNN breaking news.
Okay. It's a really great question. Extracted or not extracted MSG is prominent in all of our foods. And so many of the dishes really highlight it, and other dishes are a matter of complexity. So a dish that highlights it, anywhere from sashimi to tofu to a ham type dish, where it's really truly highlighted. As we probably experienced in our tasting, wines that get into oak barrel or tannins, the oak and tannins will be emphasized by the umami. And so at that point, that's going back to an example I gave in our tasting where sushi and sake. It's the idea that the sake has nothing to change dramatically with. So umami will make a wine more bitter, more astringent, more tannic if it has oak or tannins. So those dishes that focus on that delicious taste, and even if it's extracted or not, like sugar is extracted, like salt is extracted, whether it's extracted or not, it will still have a corresponding reaction. So dishes that really highlight the umami, savory deliciousness then need to generally be paired with wines that can compensate for that. There was a great comment about sherry and about champagne. There was a lot of consensus that those wines were really food friendly. The autolysis of yeast creates umami in wine, and sherries are some of the most food-friendly wines you can have. I actually had worked with Johnson & Wales University, and a person there, the director of education, did a sherry and food pairing with some of the most difficult foods to pair to, like oily smoked fish, like umami-driven ingredients, and the sherry, like champagne, really handle it absolutely well. And I think most of us could probably speak that we don't mind drinking too much champagne, so that's a good thing, and sherry's also. So if we understand that that taste, and don't try and force a dish where the flavor profile might be in the dish, you want to see it go towards a red wine or an oaked white wine. But if we understand the taste that umami is going to create a reaction that will make that wine bitter and astringent, and we stay away from that, it will actually, like I said, I didn't create the things that I've been hearing everybody talk about today. I didn't create it. History created those. They're regional pairings. They're things that are that have evolved together. And whether it's ham and Dijon mustard, or whether it's ham and vinegar, umami and the acid create a synergistic effect that these separate parts absolutely have a measurable synergistic effect that can achieve 8 times more flavor together than apart. And so that's why we use the vinegars, the fish with lemons, the salts. It's very much a synergistic effect. And then if we understand how that relates to wines, whether they be champagne, sherry, or whether they be big Cabernets and a salted grilled Tuscan steak, beef steak Fiorentina with lemons garnishing it, then we can kind of see where these things make a lot of sense, and that's why we love them. And nobody really really kind of created it. It evolved, and it's part of our quest for survival, and how food and wine have actually now become what we think of as a man-made thing, but it's really not. It's kind of an evolution. I hope that was not way too wordy.